this is Michelle, and I'm here to do your 2019 Year Ahead reading. This reading will cover the entire year, and we will break it down into 4 quarters. Something a little different is that I am going to be using a standard deck of playing cards. These are the B playing cards. And then for clarification, we will bring in some tarot cards from the Universal Weight Tarot deck. A little bit different deck than the one that we have been using. Still illustrated by Pamela Coleman Smith, but recolored by Mary Hanson Roberts. So the colors are just a little bit different. All right, I am going to continue shuffling here until I feel that the cards are ready for a cut. This is for Virgo for the year 2019, the entire year ahead. And I feel that that is it, Virgo. All right, let's take a look at what we have in store for Virgo for 2019. Wow, Virgo, we're starting off with the 9 of Hearts. You know, that makes me happy. I'm going to lay out all of the cards, but this is equivalent to the 9 of Cups. It's the Wish card. So that's nice to see, whatever else we happen to turn over. And then the 8 of Diamonds, followed by the 5 of Clubs. Okay, a beautiful start for the first quarter. For the second quarter, the 9 of Spades, 2 9s, followed by the King of Diamonds, and the 7 of Spades. For the third quarter, the Queen of Diamonds, the Jack of Diamonds, and the 9 of Diamonds. Wow, 3 9s thus far. For the last quarter, the 7 of Hearts, the 5 of Diamonds, 2 5s, and 2 9s, 3 9s. And finally, well, look at that, it is the Joker reversed. Wasn't that at the bottom of the deck when I stopped? I'm not really reading these cards in the reverse, but it just so happened that it came up that way. Oh, wow. Okay, so Virgo, let's get started with what is in store, at least for the beginning of the year. Virgo, it looks like that for many of us, we have instigated a change in our either ambitions or work life. I think that this shift, this change, actually, it's a process. It didn't happen just yesterday or overnight, but it's still a big change will occur in the first quarter related to a shift that we are making in terms of what we really want to do with I want to say the rest of our lives. There's a sense as the year opens that your wish will come true. That's kind of a cliche when we look at the 9 of Hearts, but we can sense that we have completed a very big stage in making this transition, and that we are indeed establishing ourselves more firmly in this new venture. For some Virgos, there's also the possibility that we are marrying, bringing together our passion, something that we are passionate about in life, together with a financial or business venture. So, in other words, it's just not enough for Virgo to punch in and punch out every day. You know, punching the clock isn't going to provide long-term satisfaction for Virgo. Some Virgos, you have probably found that there was something that you enjoyed doing for quite a while. Perhaps you have been involved in it for a while, and you have decided to take it to the next level and make this a way of life, a way of bringing in resources to yourself. And I feel that the first quarter is going to go very well in that area. By the second quarter, however, there is a sense of uncertainty that unfolds. There is a learning curve involved with making this transition. And it could be for some Virgos that you are leaving behind a situation or an area where you felt much more secure, stable, and I want to say you were in authority. You were maybe the manager, or you were the teacher, or you were some sort of a professional, or you were the go-to person. You were the person that people went to. It is not to say that you won't also be that person in the future, but that there's a learning curve involved anytime we make a shift. We reach a certain pinnacle status-wise, right, in a profession, and then when we make a change, we have to give something up. Of course, there's a sacrifice involved, and it's not easy doing so. Nonetheless, I see that in the third quarter that you understand that you are really making a very wise decision financially. There is a strong emphasis on thinking about the future and how you will be providing for yourself. There is a sense by the third quarter that indeed you have come a very long way. I'm really looking at this progression from the 8 of diamonds to the 9. It doesn't seem like a really big step, right? 8, 9. But indeed it is. Sometimes making progressions like this take quite a while. And it is a very big step from moving to feel a little bit more secure in this new line of work or this new venture to feeling like you have actually completed something. And so I do feel that you are going to have a sense of accomplishment by the third quarter. It's possible, I'm going to say also, that you are going to get some type of feedback or energy coming in from some younger people. Now, you may be a younger person yourself, but either you are a younger person and other younger people are also giving you support and feedback, or you could potentially be an older person, a more mature person, and you are getting feedback from younger individuals. I'm just going to put it that way. So this is, I think, going to feel very, very good. There's still a sense of being unsettled by the third quarter, though. It's not easy, I don't think, for Virgo to go through this transition. By the final quarter, what we see is a more permanent shift in this work venture. And I'm looking at the 2 5s here and the clubs and the diamonds. So this is, again, this is a year ahead reading, and so we're looking at a really long cycle. This is all fitting together in one picture as opposed to separate, you know, this happened and that happened and this happened. This is a cycle where there is change involved. The cycle started actually before 2019, and it's coming to another sense of conclusion by the end of the year. For some Virgos, there's certainly the possibility of, I want to say, experiencing a spiritual enlightenment along with this process. Or you may also be undergoing a great deal of spiritual growth. It might be even that you are taking some classes. That's possible, some type of class that has to do with spirituality. It could be studying world religions. It could be studying meditation. It could be looking into opening up the chakras and psychic work or mediumship work. Maybe you're interested in going into astrology for some of you. If that's the case, and I'm bringing this up because of the 7s here and the suits that we have, I feel that you're also going to make a great deal of movement and accomplishment in that area, and that it's going to feel very good. That I can see you receiving some confirmation that that was the right move. It doesn't have to be spiritual, though. It can really be any passion. Let me put it that way, too. This could be anything that you have been passionate about, and I can see you getting more solidified within this discipline through study and learning. Now, let's take a look at this Joker. The Joker is a surprise. And in this deck, we actually have 2 Jokers. One of them is black, just black and white, and this one has color. And so I tend to think that the surprise is going to be a big one. I think that it's also possible, because this Joker came up in reverse, that this is what's coming in for me, that there are going to be some options for you at the end of the year, Virgo, and that this is going to work out very nicely for you. It's a good thing to have options. I don't think you're going to feel quite as boxed in. And of course, that would be the case if you felt like you had, only one way to go, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to ask for cards from the tarot as clarifiers. Is there any other information that Virgo needs to know, Ace of Wands, regarding this reading for 20? I noticed that Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. 4 of Cups. Wow, these cards are coming up quickly. 2 more cards for Virgo in the second quarter. 2 more cards for Virgo. Wow. 4 of Pentacles. Queen. The High Priestess. I have a lot of things going on in my mind. We have also the 9 of Swords, followed by the 9 of Cups. Oh my goodness. The parallels are kind of striking. Of course, the 9 of Swords, well, we don't have a 9 of Clubs, but that 9 of Cups resonates with this 9 of Hearts, and we have the 3 9s. So, boy, that's really interesting. As I'm shuffling too, I know that Virgo, that many people watching these readings can interpret the cards themselves. And so I'm interested in maybe what you think. How does the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Cups come together for you? Because there's such a contrast there. And two more cards for Virgo. Two more cards for Virgo. This is for 2019, the end of the year. Four of Pentacles. Certainly there is a theme running through. And the Four of Swords. Did I say four? I meant five. Sometimes I have so much going through my mind that I misspeak. And I'm sure you know when that's happening, right? Okay, so I'm just going to make sort of a general statement here before I go into these tarot cards quarter by quarter. I think for Virgo, potentially one of the biggest hurdles or problems in 2019, if you are actually making some kind of a shift regarding your career or your work, is a concern about finances and money. This is completely understandable, and I am hearing leap of faith that this is just requiring a leap of faith on your part. For the first quarter, we have the Ace of Wands, Four of Cups, and so, well, here's what's coming up regarding this. Virgo, I believe that you are really of two minds about this thing. On the one hand, there are times when you are extremely enthusiastic and your wish is coming true with that Nine of Hearts and this Nine of Cups. Your wish is coming true, and you know, that's wonderful. At the same time, there can be times when it's difficult to get moving, and because there's a change in place, there's a sense of uncertainty about where the chips are going to fall. Okay, so there's a little bit of a crapshoot kind of a feel to this that also relates to the Joker, by the way. All right, so this is a tough position to be in. I think you just want to be all in, right? Chips all in. I am in this thing. I am raring to go. But it's difficult because, Virgo, you're such a careful, analytical, and practical sign. You don't want to make a mistake. And those two kinds of energies can create this sort of conflict within. Now, in the second quarter, and I mentioned feeling perhaps some regret about losing status and knowing that it will take time to build up your level of status and knowledge again in this new venture, for those of you that are resonating, of course. But another issue is, again, Four of Pentacles are the finances. Now, the Four of Pentacles doesn't always have to mean finances, but we're seeing that thread with the diamonds and also down here with the Five of Pentacles, right? Now, this doesn't mean that finances are going to be a problem by any means. I don't think so. I think this is you. The High Priestess, I believe, is you, Virgo. And this is you manifesting this change that I think you understand needs to come about. Indeed, it is the practical thing. It is the practical thing to bring this change about. Because it's possible for some of you, you'll know what I'm saying, that the present situation isn't sustainable. It simply cannot be sustained at this level forever, right? And so a change needs to take place. This naturally brings about some concerns about finances. but I see you manifesting your success. I do feel like we have two things going on here again. It's very consistent, right? Actually, all the way through these tarot cards, each of these sections has a conflict in it, and perhaps none stronger than in this third quarter. This really correlates with this Jack of Diamonds too. The Jack of Diamonds can suggest that we are feeling some doubt, and like we are not quite exactly sure about where we want to go or if we are actually doing the right thing. And so I think there are going to be times for you, Virgo, where you feel like, oh my goodness, it's happening. I'm manifesting it. It's coming about. And I really feel good about this work that I'm doing. This is you in the place where you're really meant to be and supposed to be. It's you in your happy place, okay? Wherever that is, whatever it is that you do that really puts a smile on your face and makes you happy, you know you're doing the right thing, and yet being so practical and concerned and careful, there are times that perhaps you just, I mean, literally, quite literally, just lay down to go to sleep and the worries come up. I think for Virgo, this is completely understandable. And so it is partly because Virgos are so careful about everything that things don't go wrong. So let's keep that in mind. This relates to this idea. The people that are most worried about their health are the healthiest. Okay, not that it's healthy to worry, but I'm just saying, right? That is like Virgo. Concerned about health always. So these are the folks that are constantly, having the, very healthy diet, making sure, they're getting their walks in or their exercise. And so this is the situation that I'm seeing, that there are concerns here, but because the concerns are here, that things are going to turn out beautifully. And in the final quarter, where we see this is almost like levels, all right? Because this is a big change. We are not looking at, okay, this week this is happening. This is like a monumental life shift. Potentially it has to do, I'm not going to get into too much astrology here, but potentially it has to do or is connected with Saturn and Pluto going conjunct in Capricorn, fellow Earth sign. This is a very big conjunction. It's a very rare conjunction, maybe once every 30 or so, 30 plus years or something, would something like this occur. And both planets signaling change. And so big change, not little change, but big change that ends up in the long run for the better. You might look for Capricorn in your natal chart, by the way, to see if this gives you a clue about where that is happening, and actually also look for where your natal Saturn is in your natal chart. Connect the two houses. Connect natal Saturn and where Capricorn is on the cusp. Think about those two houses, and it might give you a clue about where this big transformation is occurring. Okay, and then let's look at this Five of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. So again, there is a sense that money is going to potentially be a little tighter by the end of the year, but that's completely understandable if you are going through a financial transition, trying to start a business, or just starting off brand new in a career where perhaps you haven't climbed your way up the ladder so far. Completely understandable. What the tarot was telling me And I see this really as an advice card. And I'm happy to see that this came up as the final card. Virgo, you have a very strong ability to focus. And I believe that through meditation practices, prayer, really any kind of spiritual practice that calls your mind into focus and helps you to relax is going to see you through 2019 beautifully. Moreover, you might think about combining your meditation practices with your manifestation and visualization practices, giving yourself very positive messages about the future, because it is just in the nature of Virgo to worry about things. If you are a Virgo out there and you don't tend to worry, then that's wonderful. I'm happy about that. But for many of us, we do tend to we have strong minds, we're able to focus, and sometimes what we can do is we can just focus on the worries, right? Focus on the worries instead of focusing on what is good, supportive, and will make us happy in life. Sounds like a simple solution, doesn't it? So I don't mean to just give out simple solutions to complicated problems, believe me. But I am just reading the cards here for you, Virgo, and what it is suggesting to me is to use the power of your mind to focus on that beautiful picture ahead, and knowing that there is a lovely surprise at the end of the year, and I feel that it will be a reward for all of the hard work you have put into this project. Virgo, that is your reading for 2019. I want to thank you so much for your views, likes, for your shares, and to the subscribers. I appreciate it so very much. I want to thank you again so much for being here. Thank you for watching and for listening, and I'll see you next time.